What's up guys, today we are here to check out the brand new archetype, the White Forest. So the White Forest archetype is actually all about synchros. They are heavily synchro based and you can actually mix them with Centurions, which is actually quite popular. So this gameplay over here, courtesy of Hannah6, is going to show off one of the builds, and then I got another replay that's going to be a different build. And you guys can see kind of how the deck can play. So you're going to see Centurions mixed in because, well, it's just a really great synchro archetype to go ahead and throw in. And what does the White Forest actually do? So a lot of them just kind of reoccur some of the monsters, and I'll kind of pause it briefly to explain what's actually going on. So a lot of the Centurions is just going to be basically a synchro archetype, and then you get to bring back some of the cards sometimes. As like a Boule Crystal Beast here over here, so to speak. So anyways, he's going to go ahead and now summon this card over here. And he's going to proc the effect, but that's going to be stopped. Now this is still Centurions, but we're going to see this card, which is quite good. So the reason why this is really good is it's almost like Formless Synchron. So what it allows you to do is you special summon a White Forest monster from your hand or deck, and then immediately after it resolves, you get to synchro summon a White Forest monster. And if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster's effect, you can set this card, and then you can only use each of effective at once per turn. So again, it gives your opponent that surprise factor of going for things. And when Centurions can just go ahead and special summon themselves, that's where the synergy comes along with this archetype. So this is Aeria. You get to send one spell trap from your hand to the graveyard, and you get to special summon a light spellcaster tuner, which can actually be Valor. If a spellcaster trap is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster's effect while this card's in the graveyard, you get to resummon it. So they all kind of have some reoccurring out of the graveyard to kind of bring back themselves, so you can synchro like again and again. This is one of the newer cards, Arcelia over here. When it's special summon, you get to send a spell trap from your hand or field to the graveyard to add a White Forest card or a light spellcaster monster from your deck to your hand, which again, Valor could be a target. And then you can only use the effect of it once per turn, but then Illusion and Spellcaster synchro monsters you control gain 500 attack, and they can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So you get some sort of protection and a little bit of a stat boost. So he's going to go ahead and send that card, search out an additional card over here, and then since that card was sent, he's going to be able to special summon it. And then again, you can keep on using the other cards, like not Phalanx, it's the other one, the Woes of the White Forest. That's kind of like one of the surprise factor cards. Now, there is Maxi in the first duel over here because it's OCG over here. This is not going to matter too much, though. For the most part, there's not an insane amount of draw power from either player from Maxi. I mean, the first one got stopped from the player playing the White Forest. You can see we also have one of the most important cards for the archetype, which is Legend of the White Forest. Just let you search out, if you control a illusion or spellcast, you get to add a White Forest monster from your deck to your hand. So that is one thing that you have to factor in Centurion over here. Hey, that's a spellcaster. So again, that's where the synergy comes along. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster's effect, you can set this card. So again, you basically get to have like a lot of searching that just goes on again and again. So it is a deck, I guess similar to Sky Striker, is you do want to try to beat it down as quickly as possible, because if it goes on too long, they just get so much advantage and just going to be losing out. Another one of the cards in the archetype, which is the Silveria, the Witch Wolf of the White Forest. So when it's special summon, you get to Book a Moon everything. But unfortunately, if it's linked, well, that's not going to be actually possible. And then your stats get boosted up by another 500 attack. So they don't have crazy amounts of attack, so they do need the boost to get over something, which is actually important for the second gameplay that I'm about to show off that you'll see. So yeah, you're going to be able to attack over things, or maybe you're going to be able to book a move, but against links and stuff, that could be a little bit harder. Just going to go for the Blazar Dragon, one of the more like OG, so to speak, boss monsters. Quasar was the OG ultimate mega monster in the game, though. We're going to see Woes of the White Forest, and that's where Maxi can become quite good, because obviously you're going to special summon, he's going to draw one, then he's going to go for another card potentially, but I guess it kind of got stopped midway through, so that's not going to be happening today. So he goes ahead and snatch steals, takes the card, Geisha over there, and he's going to go and obviously multi-roll the card, send it right back. Then Shizuka going to be searching out another card. And so, again, you want to try to beat down this deck as quickly as possible, but he took the Centurion card over here, because he gets to place a non-synchro Centurion from his hand or graveyard and spell and trap zone, which is pretty good if that thing was to keep on lingering. But Blazar now has lower stats because of this card over here, because you get to lose stats. So he actually kind of had this 4,000 monster became too low over here, and so him snatch stealing actually maybe have kind of hurt him a little bit over here. But I got another duel, so let's go ahead and check out another one. And there's actually a lot of newer Malefic cards I don't think I've ever covered. I haven't really seen people play Malefics in quite some times, but I mean, Malefic plus the Kaijus. I mean, Kaijus automatically can break like the toughest boards in any archetype. But let's go ahead and check it out. This one's courtesy of Fran and Siege over here. Shout out to them for these plays. So we're gonna see another card. This is Diabel. So if this card's synchroed using a tuner monster as material, you get a target spell trap in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. That's any. It's not just for the white forest, which is pretty dang good. And then when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you get to send a spell trap from your hand to the graveyard to special summon a level 7 or lower tuner monster from your extra deck, graveyard, or banishment. So you're going to bring back a lot of stuff. So this play over here is going to open up with Crimson Dragon, which is pretty good. And then again, YuGiOh over here, really, really great card. But well, it gets sent to the graveyard because Kaijus are Kaijus again. It's a pretty good way to get rid of any problematic card. He's going to go ahead and attack over it. And now he has one of the cards where it ignores like the limit of the Malefics, which can be pretty good. I think it like stops the battle phase or something. Yeah, you can have more than one Malefic, but it has to be one with different names. I mean, look at the amount of cards, and this was actually a pretty interesting tech running Supe over here, because when it's sent from the field to the graveyard by a card effect, you just supposed to summon an Oracle of the Sun. And I thought that was a pretty interesting tech because the Sun and Moon Dragon, I thought it was a really cool idea, but like the archetype kind of sucked. But as a splashable stuff, well, let's see how it actually turns out. So he's going to go ahead and throw in the Whispers here. And obviously Crimson Dragon being really awesome, being able to tag this over here and then summon a Dragon Secret Box. So you're basically having multiple tags. Remember, the other card, the Woes, gives you another like kind of tag out feature. And I kind of like that, giving the ability to surprise your opponent in going for something. So he's going to tag out, go for Stardust Cypher Divine Dragon, and Malefic Truce Dragon is going to be coming out. So this one, like, strangely enough, like, that 5,000 is just too much for a lot of archetypes to deal with. And if you can have any other sort of protection, off the top of my head, I think I ran at one point, I think it was like Mound the Bound Creator when I was like checking out Malefics when they first came out, because it's just like, oh man, you just get to bring out a big attack monster, like, but surprisingly, some archetypes, they cannot deal with just a larger monster, which can definitely become a problem. And 5,000 is a pretty good amount of attack, so he goes ahead and made Shooting Star so he can actually start blocking things, because yeah, that's a huge amount of attack. And will that be so much that you can't deal with it? And he's got double Malefics now. He's going to go ahead and tag out and go to the Shooting Star Dragon TGEX. So he's going to use a lot of stuff to go ahead and banish the stuff to the end phase or stop the attack and just kind of try to survive over here. Because normally you look at this board like, dude, he's got game, right? But strangely enough, again, sometimes depending on the matchup in an archetype, you just can't deal with a monster that has too much of numbers, right? If you don't have the ability to pop, or there's something else that protects him. And then he's also got the Time Lord, where it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects over here, which can get quite annoying for some archetypes. I remember when, what was it, Dino Rabbit at one point was seeing some play, and then we also had the Time Lords come in, and then they just like dominated for a while. There's just certain stall decks that would just throw out the Time Lords, and I think it was like the Sandion. That one was quite annoying sometimes to deal with as well. Like certain archetypes, you just could not get around them, and they would just like end up burning you for too much damage. So you can see everything's in defense mode because the stats are just too high. Like even though he's busted out all of these things over here, he's reduced the stats of them, and he's also got the Sword Soul over here. And let's see how this actually plays out. Even though the first game over here, completely kind of different board that you're seeing. We have so much stuff, but we have also Scrap Iron Idol, which is actually a pretty good card. Being able to make it so if the set card and its owner is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you just special summon a Crimson Dragon. But really cool that you get to set this card. So a 7 or 8 Dragon Secret monster that is banished or in the graveyard, you get to resummon it, but return it to the extra deck during the end phase. But more than likely, again, you would simply just use these things as stepping stones, which could be quite good. Now he's going to go ahead and heal up. And it's crazy to see this duel, and I really like these kind of like more crazy anime style where like you're getting so many things out. But now, guys, he's got the Red Nova Dragon, which has 5,100 attack, which is kind of like, it reminds me sometimes with anime when like the main protagonist is kind of like down, out of luck, they're like almost at their last card, they finally bust out like some sort of ace card, and you're just like, what the heck? And then he's going to be able to finally go ahead and get some damage. And now it's got 6,000 attack over here. He's going to go ahead and activate World Legacy Clash. He's going to activate the effect of Chen. And then he's going to activate Cypher Divine. He's going to go ahead and burn him. And that's going to go ahead and be game over there. So it's kind of cool to see that. And I'll give you guys both of the deck profiles in case any of you guys do want them really quick. I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick little mouse over. And you guys can go ahead and run the deck yourselves. But here, this one's got a bunch over here. This one's big beefy deck. But anyways, let me know guys what you think of the white forest archetype. But that's gonna go wrap up things. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn the bell so you don't miss out on more Yu-Gi-Oh gameplays. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.